Are we live yet? There we are. All right. It is Monday, April 5th, 2021. Happy birthday to my sister. And I'm going to throw up these little guys. Raging. All right. For anybody who's tuning in, this is probably going to be a little bit more serious because neither Nita or I really wanted to be here today. I basically woke up with depression and spontaneous crying. In fact, the reason why I am pancaked right now is because I was bright red. My nose is swollen. My nose is running even a little bit. And I am frustrated by that because anybody who's known me for like a good long while knows that my cycle of depression is seasonal. It's normally November through February, where I usually disappear off the face of the internet. I am not there. I barely have a pulse. You know, if anything, I check in and stuff like that, but I don't really interact. The last couple of years, I would say the last 4 or 5 years, I've been more present because I've kept myself really busy on projects with other people. So it's a way for me to be held accountable, stay busy, and out of my own head. Um, but today, just out of nowhere, it was like, pow, you know? And it just felt like all the feels. And I wouldn't be surprised if while I'm talking about this, that I just break out into tears. And it's not because I'm sad, you guys. I don't know where it's coming from. It was like a random thought in my head about a pet that died 20 years ago. And all of a sudden I'm like, ugh. I think about my dad and I break into tears. I woke up and I felt like a lost child. Like, where is everybody? And why do I feel like this? And why do I feel alone and scared? And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not scared. I'm not alone. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was just that feeling and how I could associate it so that I could talk about it. And now I'm just getting angry. I'm like, what are these stupid feels that I'm feeling, and why am I just breaking out into tears? These are human emotions that I don't like because I am an ASB. And normally I can compartmentalize those. I can put them away and just go, okay, you belong in there. And they fucking escaped. And I'm mad about that. And I'm frustrated. And so I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I told Nina, I was like, I'm not good company. And it was funny because we were texting each other and I was doing all caps and stuff because I wanted to make sure that it was understood. And she's like,
It was understood.
She's like, why are you yelling? I mean, not exactly like that, but normally she mocks people who do all caps, right? I don't normally do that, but it was just like I wanted to emphasize something.
I took it personally.
Yeah, yeah. And so, she said, well, I'm in a mood. And I'm like, well, I'm in a mood. Like, do you want to do this? Like, no, fuck it. I don't want to do it. I'm like, well, we should. Because I think it's important to talk about this. I am not always up. I'm not always smiling. There are going to be days where I just don't know. And sometimes most of the time it's in the shower, you know? Because that's where I let it go. It's just whether it's stress from the day or whether it's that the feels wherever they're coming from, and it's just like, ugh, and it's ugly crying, and I'm like, why? And there's a small part in my head that's going, why is that? Why are you doing that? And I feel stupid for it, but it's not stupid. I just wish I knew where it was coming from because it's random. Have you ever felt like that? I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah.
And so when I say spontaneous combustion, sometimes it's depression, sometimes it's just rage. Like I just feel like throwing shit, or I don't
Shit.
I don't like breaking shit, but there are days when I just want to throw stuff and, just for the sake of like letting out that energy, just go, you know? You break shit.
Oh, I break shit.
There was only one time when I was so frustrated with something. It was an old laptop. Oh God, I don't even know how long ago it was. And it had one of those really nasty viruses that you just couldn't do anything about, or we didn't know how to fix it. So basically, we took it outside and took turns with a shotgun and shot the shit out of it, and it felt good. It was funny, but
Oh, I just turn things into projectiles.
yeah. So,
Anything can be a projectile, Meredith.
and Mike, sometimes the world just gets too much. Can relate hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And just sometimes the escape is normal. If they need to be out, compartmentalize it as a fuck it moment to feel better. Where it comes from doesn't matter. That's true. Like I said, it's these random things. Nita, you were saying something like a memory popped up in Facebook.
Yep.
And it's just all of a sudden, and for me, I don't know. I wish I knew what that trigger was so that I could put it on lock, because I have things to do. I mean, I have a lot of shit to do, and I have a lot of stuff that's coming up. And, Nita, you were saying, well, why wouldn't you be? And I'm like, because those things don't normally bother me.
It's
I'm like,
not.
yeah, yeah. It's like those random things that just pop up that in a way kind of in my head, I'm like, when I'm trying to justify, when I'm trying to be logical about it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why am I sad about that now? And I can't even say it's sadness. I've felt sadness. Uh, I don't understand it. And Joe is saying, if the body needs it, the mind will try to find a way to rationalize it when it's nothing more than a release. I guess that's what it is. Maybe it is just a release today. Um, but I hope it's over soon, you know, because I'm sitting here, like I said, I pancaked the makeup on because I was bright red. My nose is a little swollen, you know, and my eyes are a little swollen, and I'm just like, no, let's just do this. Let's talk about it. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if we're gonna keep this short and sweet. Um, it's That's what it is today. And I think I'm on the tail end of it, because now I think I don't know what my dog is barking at. Now it just feels like, okay, I got the feels out of the way. Now I'm angry because they're in my way and I've got stuff to do, you know? And so it's, gosh, I wish I knew how to describe it. It's almost like the inside workings are going like, nope, nope, you go back in the car, you go back in the cage, you go back in the cage, put it back in there, lock it up and stuff. It's like they can play later when it makes sense, an anniversary of something, you know, but they've escaped like wild animals today. And I'm like, nope, come back, get back in there, just put it back in, and get on with the day. How do you do it? Or do you just like bun and what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you feel like the feels have?
I usually project it on someone else, and I'm ugly and mean and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just freaking sleep.
Yeah, sleep. I did a lot of that yesterday. I mean, a lot of sleep. I told myself I was going to do something and I didn't, because all I could do was a task, come home and go, oh, that looks so comfortable, and go lay down. And I was out for a few hours. And I did that all day long. And I feel that, and that's the other crazy thing. I wake up and my body feels refreshed, like I got the rest that I needed, and I feel good. So why is this waterfall coming from my eyes today? Absolutely no sense at all. And I guess that's just part of the depression. Oh, hello. Hi.
Hello.
So, but that's it. Let's see. Mike is saying old emotions can clog up the flow of things, even if they're way later in life. Best to just let them out and let them go. Forgive yourself for not being able to do something at the exact moment. And Joe says, "Don't be like me. I usually isolate myself." That's exactly what I do, Joe. From November through February, normally, if you went back a couple of years,
What is
normally
going
that
on?
is what I do. I disappear, and it's not because I don't want to be out there, but there's a part of me that says no, I don't want to be bringing anybody else down. And we were thinking about that. We were thinking about like whether or not we wanted to come on because RAGIN, for the most part, is fun. I mean, we do the challenges, we do our reaction videos and things like that. But I like to think that we talk about real stuff too, and serious stuff, and uh, that we're not always on. You know, and I don't know. I feel like I'm doing all the talking, but like at this point, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more balanced. The anger is kind of the anger and frustration with myself. Like why did I lose control like that? Does and it feels stupid. I'm like, why? I feel stupid for that, and I'm not a stupid person. I don't know, but I think I feel better for talking about it and expressing myself. And I'm really, really glad that I didn't start like spontaneous crying because that's what I was doing pretty much from the moment I woke up until I even told Nita we set up the room and I said, I'll be there in 5. And then it was just all of a sudden it was like, and I was like, no, I'll be there in about 20. She's like, fine. And I'm like, what does that mean? And it wasn't,
I'm sorry.
it wasn't even you because like I was telling you before, it's like we have a way of talking to each other, and I'm trying to get you to a point where you're not apologizing for or correcting your texts because the way we communicate, it's like I get it, I get you. And but for me to have these illogical emotions and just like stop it. I'm frustrated with myself, and maybe in a way I kind of project, and I try not to. I have a leash on it. I try to have a leash on it. And so today, this morning, she's like, uh no, I'm like, all right, let's just do this. Let's do it and show, because it's important. It's important that we're not, like Mike says, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and that's okay. And that has to be because um, I feel like this show is a reflection of who we are, the two of us, and we want to be real because it's I don't want it to be, oh, how do I explain it? I personally don't want it to be like the Instagram perfect photo wall of perfection and the perfect shot and things like that. You know, those great selfies that people take, but it took them like 200 shots to get the right angle and the lighting and everything like that.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like this is fun, and yeah, sure, we put our faces on and things like that, but there are times when it's just the moment says, hey, let's be a little more real than we normally are. And so when we were talking about Asperger's and Autism Awareness Month and coping mechanisms and things like that, today my real moment is just it's depression, it's spontaneous crying or spontaneous anger. It's being frustrated for being human and having these feels, and that's okay. I think we all need to know that that's okay. Um, to have that real reflection out there, so that people know I want to be a genuine human being. You know. Joe is saying, don't feel stupid sometimes with don't know we are in overflow mode. So when that emotional release happens, take it as your body hitting the fail safe that the mind do get. Yeah, that makes sense. But see, everybody who's commenting right now, I mean, they know that they've felt it, and you guys, if you're feeling like you're in a dark place or something, I mean, you can message me if you want to. I'm not going to open that up for Nita. I'll let her, decide who contacts. But I have no problem talking to people um, about it and just getting it out of your system. So whatever needed to be in my system is, I feel like it's out. I feel like I'm rebounding and getting back to my normal flow. Uh, and I appreciate you guys for being here. And I don't know, do you think it's an Aspie thing? That feeling like those emotions have escaped the zoo?
Oh yeah. At least you're able to catch them little bastards and put them back in your box. Fuck.
Not always, not always. Every once in a while, it's just like, and then I'm like, no. And it's weird. It's like, I feel it from here up through my imagination. And it's almost like, no, come here. And I'm grabbing them and I'm like sucking them back into the box. Yeah, does that make sense?
When you suck some tears back in. I swear to God, I've done that before. Been like, I felt it go, but it is like,
right?
get back in there.
Go right back into your eyeballs, right back up your nose, and just or just breathing it in, and just go. All right, and just holding your breath and going, I'm going to suffocate you, you bastard. Don't you dare come out again. No rhyme or reason. Glenn, good morning. He says, you are very brave for talking out loud like this. You should be proud of yourself for doing it. I don't know that it's brave necessarily. I don't want to feel like I'm popping, and a lot of times the reason why I am able to share a lot of the stuff that I do, whether it's goofy shit or really serious stuff, is because at some point there was a light switch when I realized that I was not alone in how I feel. I was alone in my feelings, but the overall idea that there are feelings, and that other people are going through it and other people can associate through their own experiences, by having somebody or anybody talking out loud about it kind of helps them understand that they are not alone in what those feel like. And if I can make it through that moment or that hour, that day. And there have been times when I felt like it was minute to minute, like seriously, minute to minute. And I was just like, okay. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, okay. And just breathe, just breathe. Um, and then it gets better. And then making those little goals to get through the day. I mean, I've had days where my only goal, seriously, my only goal was to take a shower. And that day I didn't. And that was like devastating because it's like you only had one stupid goal to go wash your body and you couldn't even do that. No, I'd rather be on the couch, eating a bag of nachos or something like that. I've had those days and I don't know what helped me, but I think it was hearing other people talking about it and going, oh, I get it. Okay. What does that feel like to talk about it? And it's awkward as hell. At least it used to be. It's a lot easier for me now because now I'm just like, meh, it is what it is. I don't know if that comes with age or experience or the fact that I've gotten through what I hope to be are some of the darkest days and keeping myself busy, finding out what those tools are to help me get through. But so yeah, I wasn't expecting to be on here for over 21 minutes and I did all the talking. Nita, you have anything that you wanted to add to that? We're both kind of having a day. And I didn't do the spontaneous crying, so I'm so happy. I'm happy about that. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. So now I'm not going to apologize for being serious. We'll lighten it up soon enough. I did want to let you know that tonight on Geek Speak Comics Talk, we are going to have Kieran Stevens and JD Calderon. Kieran Stevens has a Kickstarter going on right now for Oculus #1, and JD Calderon has the Oswald Chronicles 1 through 8 on Indiegogo. So we're going to be talking to them tonight. Tomorrow night on Geek Speak, it's a special time. It's 4:15 p.m. Eastern with Anthony Sullivan. You guys would know him as the OxyClean guy. He's got a new show on Vice called Kings of Kush. And we've only got him for 15 minutes. So you want to tune in live and ask questions while we've got him. And let me see. I think that's about it, you guys. Tune in. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channels and hit the notifications bell so you know exactly when we go live, because a lot of times we don't know when we do. Sometimes it's just a matter of hitting the button, and sometimes we're like, okay. Mike says, on those kinds of days, I tend to leave the goals and do something on my own, usually going out of the house because mostly it's the four walls that drive me. I got up from my desk and I know this sounds stupid. Okay, I'm gonna share this really quickly. I love Grey's Anatomy. I love that show. And so Amelia Shepherd, the one episode where she says she's standing there like a superhero and like, why are you doing that? And so I did that for about 5 minutes and I did feel a little bit better, which is, I don't know why. But my son came out and he saw me and he just kind of turned around and went back to his room. So, yeah. And it's okay to do something ridiculous, whether it's just making funny faces or jumping around and doing that. But you guys, we're out of here. Got stuff to do. I feel like my feels are back where they belong to be and where they belong. Yeah, okay. I can speak too. Until tomorrow, have a great day. Stay productive. Be kind to one another.